What's going on? It's me, Flex, and I just want to make a quick tier list, just because, you know, the Mario Golf community loves to make tier lists, but they never upload them to YouTube, so I figured I'd upload one just to do it. And without further ado, let's begin. So, the criteria of this tier list is just, you pick one of the 6 courses, excluding Mango Canopy, and depending on what character you pick, you're comfortable getting a score of like minus 18 or above. And the ones that go in the GOAT and the consistent will probably be able to get like minus 19 or 20 or above if you play good golf. And also to take into consideration is their control stat, because characters with less control are more bound to be able to mess up because we are human. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I would say the worst character in the game, Donkey Kong. And the reason he goes in this specific place, severely outclassed by others, is because there's no reason to ever pick him instead of Bowser or Peter Piranha. Because the amount of power he loses and the amount of control he gains, it's just not worth it. You're hitting like 10 less yards for absolutely no reason. And on par 3s, he's going to suffer. And if you miss a frame, he's going to suffer the same as a better character. So, no reason to get into that character pick. And there's only one other character, really, in this tier. And that's Bowser Jr. And the reason he's here is because of his power versus control as well. Wario and Daisy at the same amount of power, actually more power by a lot, have way better control than this character. Not to mention, Bowser Jr. has pretty horrible stats in terms of height and in terms of spin, I think. Nobody uses this character, so who's gonna know? But yeah, these two characters belong down here. You should never use them under any circumstances. If you're hitting your frames, obviously any character is good, but you could just pick a better character and have a higher percentage to get a better score. And now there's 3 characters that belong in the next tier, not enough power. And here they are. These 3 characters do not have enough power to get eagles consistently on most of the par 5s in the game. You could argue Luigi has a better chance, but that's just on paper. In reality, when you're using this character, it doesn't really feel like it, in my opinion. I'm sure that you guys and gals will have a lot of different opinions about this in the comments, but this is just my interpretation. But yeah, when you pick these characters, you're going for birdie golf, and that's about it. And there are even some par 4s where you may even have trouble getting a birdie because of just how far away the pin is and how much power you have. But on par 3s, you should be good with these characters. And par 5s, you should be able to easily get a birdie. So if you're looking to play consistent golf, they're not a bad pick at all. But if you're looking to get that top score, look elsewhere. And now we have our next tier, which is have some drawbacks, and I'll explain that as we go along. So in the bottom of this tier, we have Diddy, who would be down here if he didn't have a lot of height, honestly. He doesn't have a lot of power either, but he has a lot of height, so his shots go farther, and he can get around some obstacles a lot easier. And he has little trouble getting to some par 5 eagles. He gets to more than the 3 down here. But other than that, like, you know, he still has some trouble with distance. Some par 4s give him trouble, and some par 5s that you could easily make with just a slightly higher character and power he doesn't get. And that's why he's down here. And the next character is you, Mario. Now, Mario honestly could possibly go in this bottom tier here, but I think that Mario deserves to not be there only because of his good height and spin stat, and the fact that he has a straight shot and such high height makes him a viable pick. If you're hitting your frames, which is easy with Mario, for me personally, he's not a bad character, but the only drawback is he actually hits a lot less far than you would think. Like, sure, he's technically, what, the 4th hardest hitting character in the game, but in game, it doesn't really feel that way. Like, Shadow Mario and Daisy and even Wario compete with Mario in terms of how far they can hit. And for the amount of control you lose, honestly, he could go down in this bottom tier, but like I said before, like, he's very easy to control if you're hitting your frames, and his 3-wood is pretty decent. Like, if you slice or hook with his 3-wood, it's not so bad, like, unlike Bowser Jr., whose 3-wood doesn't even do anything, and Donkey Kong, whose 3-wood is kind of way worse than Mario's for some reason. Yoshi. And honestly, this is the start of where characters become more usable. But Yoshi still has some drawbacks with power. And honestly, the control you get for the power you get with Yoshi is not a great trade-off. And that's why he goes here. Like, if Yoshi had like 5 more yards, he'd pretty much be one of the best, if not close to the best character in the game. But he just has not enough power to justify going higher. There's a reason why people don't use him. He's very consistent though. Like, you pick Yoshi, you're not going to go wrong. Honestly, he could go up here, but because of the lack of power he has, I think it belongs here. And last but not least, in this tier we have Shadow Mario. And Shadow Mario only goes here because his driver has not the same control as other characters. And you can feel it, you know, like, he has better control than you'd think. But you can really feel the driver punish you when you miss hit with it. And compared to other power characters, it's just sometimes not worth it. But obviously, on most holes, that isn't going to be a problem. So in most cases, he's okay. But there are some holes where he struggles a little bit. Now we get into the characters where you should be using these characters if you want to score good scores. At the bottom of consistent, we have Petey Piranha. And he's at the bottom of consistent only because he has so much power that you can't possibly say he has drawbacks, like, right? Like, sure, he's going to miss some par 3s here and there, but the amount of eagle potential he has, you can't put him down here. Great character if you're hitting your frames. Very hard to use if you're not acquainted with him, though. A lot of height. And one miss hit with like a slice or a hook, and you might be in trouble. You gotta plan accordingly, but other than that, pretty good. And then next up we have Birdo, right above that. Birdo, consistent character. Kind of a sleeper pick these days because the snout can get in the way of your putting, honestly. But other than that problem, not really a big problem with Birdo, just the fact that Boo and Waluigi kind of do the job better, but Birdo is definitely a great pick, especially if you're looking for some height. You want to be a tactical approacher with a lot of finesse. It's a good character to pick. Next up, for me personally, is Wario. Great character to pick. Can't say anything really wrong except a little lack of control, but you don't really feel it too much with this character. And a lack of height can be a problem. But yeah, consistent pick. Can definitely score great on any course. Now we get to the top tier. Like, these are the 4 characters where you should be picking if you want to score great. At the bottom of this tier is Wally, honestly, for me. Wally, just the lack of control for the power he gets versus these other 3 characters is just puts him at the bottom of the GOAT tier. But great control, great power, great shot angle, great height, great stats, great spin. Can't go wrong. You got Daisy right above him. A great driver, probably the 2nd best driver in the game besides Bowser, because of the consistency with the control and the amount of like length that she gets out of it. Great spin stat, great height stat, can't go wrong. Second, I'm going to put Boo. The best control character in the game. If you're looking to get birdie golf or better, this is your pick. And straighten out his shot to go as far as Waluigi, pretty much. with a lot better control. A great character. Absolutely great character, and the best character in the game is Bowser. It feels like a control character when you're using him on a great day. And he shoots the farthest in the game. If you're looking to get a good stroke play record on most courses, if not all the courses, this is the best pick you can make, as long as you're having a good day. He has bad control, obviously, so he isn't going to get a consistent birdie everywhere. You are going to miss. But 1 or 2 mistakes maximum for a round if you're having a great day. And 0 if you're on fire. And he has such a great swing timing. And I mean, he hits the farthest in the game, and he has better control than Peter or DK or Mario by a significant margin. Because of the way the stats line up, there's really no debate. Alright, yeah. Please feel free to discuss this tier list. These are all ordered. And I would say that if you're using anything above this, here, I'll make a row below here. And I'll just call this like the fine line. If you're using anybody above the fine line, you should be, that's a little dark, you should be good. Below this line, you're going to have some problems, I would say. If you're using any character right here, you are good to go. And you'd be having a good time in any match play or stroke play, as long as you pick one of these characters for the main 6 courses. I would say, in terms of Lakitu, you should really only be using Bowser or Peter and CCF. But not maybe in a match play, you know? Maybe you're looking for consistency, and there are times where those 2 characters will mess up a par 4, par 3, so. Other than that, yeah, this is my tier list. Thanks for watching.